period. So the Los Angeles Lakers earlier were reported that they were going to sell, that the Buss family, 5 of the owners, Jeanie was the sole owner that did not want to sell. She was the sole owner that was like, absolutely not happening. But she was outvoted and ended up selling or it was reported that they were going to end up selling the 17.8% that they own that's remaining.
The shocking report dropped. The Buss family was supposedly selling their 17.8% remaining stake in the Lakers to Bob Iger and Josh Kushner. This wasn't just a rumor, it was presented as a done deal, fundamentally shifting control of one of the NBA's most iconic franchises. For a team steeped in family legacy, this news sent tremors through the league, implying a seismic shift was underway, and what they just said proves exactly why this was an immediate firestorm.
Far and away the main controlling owner. Well, reports came out, and a letter literally from the attorney of Jeanie Buss that said that this is not true, that all of this is fabricated, all of this is nonsense, and that the Lakers are not going to, or Jeanie and the Buss family is not going to sell their share, their stakes, which, again, this is starting to get messy.
But here's what makes this even crazier. Almost immediately, Jeanie Buss's attorney released a letter flat out denying the sale, calling the reports fabricated and nonsense. This isn't just a dispute, it's a direct public contradiction, questioning the credibility of major sports media outlets, and throwing the entire narrative into chaos. It tells us this isn't just about a business transaction, it's a deep-seated battle for control, and it's getting intensely personal, as we'll hear next.
Somebody coming out and being like, nah, that's all just nonsense, right? Stop believing everything you hear. Which is just, again, it's crazy to me that that this is a thing. But,
and that's not even the worst part. We're seeing a pattern here. A day where major NBA news, like the Kawhi Leonard situation, is reported as fact only to be debunked minutes later. It's creating an environment of distrust around sports reporting. But for the Lakers, this goes beyond just a bad scoop. This isn't just media misinformation. This is a clear strategic move designed to destabilize. And it targets Jeanie Buss directly. Listen to her lawyer's exact words on who is behind this.
Jeanie Buss is out as controlling owner. This is just the latest instance of a year-long pattern whereby Joey and Jesse Buss leak false, defamatory, and pernicious information to Mr. Charania for the malicious purpose of doing harm to the Los Angeles Lakers, so long as Dr. Buss, chosen successor, Jeanie Buss, carries out her father's wishes.
The lawyer's letter reveals the true depth of the betrayal. It explicitly names Joey and Jesse Buss, Jeannie's own brothers, as a source of false, defamatory, and pernicious information leaked to the media. This isn't a random leak. It's a year-long pattern with the malicious purpose of doing harm to the Los Angeles Lakers, specifically to undermine Jeanie, her father's chosen successor. This isn't just a family squabble. It's a full-blown civil war, and the stakes are the control of the Lakers. But the next revelation from this letter shows just how powerless those attempts actually are.
In any event, any vote by any of the Buss siblings would be and is void.
Any vote by any of the Buss siblings, the letter states, would be and is void. This isn't just legal posturing. It means any attempt by Joey and Jesse, or anyone else to sell their stake or remove Jeanie, is legally baseless. It's a mic drop from Jeanie's legal team, asserting that their actions hold no legitimate power in the eyes of the law. This is where the legal system steps in to enforce the late Dr. Jerry Buss's wishes, and the court order is ironclad, as you'll hear.
The attached order on petition for instructions to co-trustees concerning appointment of controlling owner of the Los Angeles Lakers, Inc.
Now, most people hear that and think, family drama, who cares about the legal specifics? But watch what happens next. The letter cites a Los Angeles Superior Court order from April 2017. This isn't new. This is established law. It specifically instructed the co-trustees to take all actions reasonably available to them, including voting the trust shares to ensure that Jeanie Buss is elected as the controlling owner of the Lakers on an annual basis. This isn't a suggestion, it's a court mandate. And this mandate is for life, which is the key here.
of the Lakers on an annual basis during Jeanie Buss's lifetime, absent a further order of the court modifying the trust based upon proof of circumstances justifying the modifications under the applicable law.
Crucially, this order is in effect during Jeanie Buss's lifetime, with a high bar for modification. The letter emphasizes that there has never been a modification of the trust. No effort has been made to justify to the court that there are circumstances for modifying the trust. This means the court has explicitly protected Jeanie's position for as long as she lives, making her removal or the unauthorized sale of shares nearly impossible without judicial intervention and compelling proof. This essentially gives Jeanie Buss a lifetime contract as controlling owner.
No sale of the JAB Trust's 17.8% ownership interest in the Los Angeles Lakers, Inc. can be effectuated without approval by the current co-trustee, i.e. Jeanie.
Though sale of the trust's 17.8% ownership interest can be effectuated without approval by the current co-trustee, i.e. Jeanie. This is the ironclad legal wall protecting Jeanie. Her explicit approval is required for any sale involving the trust's controlling stake. This means her brother's attempts to orchestrate a sale behind her back are legally null and void. The power structure is clear. Jeanie holds the veto, and that veto is legally binding, not just a preference. It fundamentally alters the typical power dynamics within a family business, and it's critical for her to maintain a specific ownership percentage for this power to hold.
Co-trustees as such would constitute a breach of the trust, breach of fiduciary duties, and be in contempt of court.
Any attempt by co-trustees to go against this court order would constitute a breach of the trust, breach of fiduciary duties, and be in contempt of court. These are severe legal consequences, not just internal family squabbles. This means Joey and Jessie Buss, if they persist in their efforts, aren't just crossing their sister. They're risking serious legal penalties. It escalates this family dispute into a potential criminal matter, making their actions extremely risky.
According to the attorney, it seems pretty black and white that, hey, Jeanie Buss is, you can vote, you can do whatever you want. You guys can go and, sign contracts, do whatever you want. Doesn't mean that it's valid, right? You have to have, I could try to sell your car. If I don't own it, I can't really sell it, right? And that's essentially what is happening, right? From my understanding of this is that Jeanie Buss is the controlling owner. So yeah, the whole entire Buss family can.
The attorney's message is pretty black and white. Jeanie Buss is the controlling owner. Her siblings can vote, sign contracts, do whatever they want, but it doesn't mean it's valid. It's like trying to sell a car you don't own. You can't. Jeanie Buss makes the final decisions, period. This isn't about family consensus. It's about legal authority established by the trust. To truly understand this, we need a real-world Lakers example that everyone understands. And there's a perfect one from recent history.
But in basketball terms, Rob Pelinka traded Russell Westbrook and 2 first-round picks for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. Deal was ready to be finalized and done. And Jeanie Buss went, nah, and vetoed that trade. She wanted to see what Darvin Ham could do with Russell Westbrook.
To put this in basketball terms, everyone understands. Remember when Rob Pelinka reportedly had a deal ready to trade Russell Westbrook and 2 first-round picks for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner? Jeanie Buss went nah and vetoed that trade, wanting to see what Darvin Ham could do with Westbrook. That's the power she wields. Her siblings can vote to sell, but at the end of the day, Jeanie can go nah, and that's the final word. This shows her singular authority, something her brothers cannot override, but her ability to do this depends on a very specific NBA rule.
That says that, that basically the sell isn't going to happen, that they have to control, because by NBA rules, so we're the 15% ownership, right? Notice like towards the end, it said that we'll maintain at least the 15% controlling ownership. In order for you to be the controlling owner, so what Jeanie Buss is, in order for her to make the decisions and whatnot that's best for the organization, Jeanie Buss has to have at least 15.
The sell isn't going to happen because Jeanie Buss has to maintain control based on NBA rules requiring at least 15% ownership for the controlling owner. For Jeanie to make the decisions and guide the organization, she must have that 15% stake. The Buss family currently holds 17.8%, meaning if they sell more than 2.8%, Jeanie loses that controlling owner status. This isn't just about the family will. It's about meeting league mandates, which is the ultimate safeguard. This rule prevents any move that would undermine Jeanie's position, no matter what her siblings try.
3%, and they'd have 14.8%. That is not valid. That is not legal. Jeanie Buss would no longer be able to be the controlling owner, but due to the trust, she has to have that. So there's a reason why they didn't sell all of their shares when they originally did the sell, because in order for Jeanie Buss to be the controlling owner, she has to have at least 15% ownership based on the NBA rules, based on what the NBA requires for their owners.
If the Buss family sold enough shares to drop below 15% ownership, Jeanie Buss would no longer be able to be the controlling owner. But due to the trust and NDA rules, she has to maintain that percentage. This is why they didn't sell all their shares previously. It's a deliberate strategy to ensure Jeanie retains her power. This means any vote to sell more than 2.8% of their current 17.8% is not just invalid. It's a direct threat to the entire Buss family's control. This situation is getting uglier by the minute, and it's been brewing for years.
For their owners to have control. So this is, this is getting kind of ugly. This is getting a little complicated. And in all honesty, it's been a mess, which is kind of why, and I actually had it written down for a video that I wanted to make. I basically just wrote down that there will be more stability. I just put more stability because I wanted to do a video about that, because the last few years have been pretty chaotic and hectic. Jerry Buss died, and everybody just, like, all the kids and everybody.
This is getting very ugly and complicated. Truly a mess that's been brewing since Dr. Jerry Buss died. Wealthy families often fight over what's theirs after a patriarch passes. And it's exactly what's happening here with the Lakers. This isn't just a business dispute. It's the chaotic fallout of a powerful family wrestling with legacy and control, playing out publicly and impacting the stability of one of the NBA's most storied franchises. The internal strife has been a huge factor in the team's struggles, and it makes you wonder what the team's future truly looks like.
Excited to see that sell, not that, anything to do with Jeanie necessarily, but it was like, okay, cool. Like, we can kind of move on, have just that ownership group, and maybe get some stability, because it has been very unstable the last few years. But anyways, always, this is a discussion. I pass a question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. That being said, if you like this video, hit that like button. Also not, to enjoy these types of videos, truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.
There was a part of me that was actually excited to see that sale happen. Not against Jeanie, but for the sake of stability. The last few years have been incredibly chaotic and hectic for the Lakers, with this constant ownership drama creating an unstable foundation. A clean break might have offered a path to clear leadership and a unified vision. But with Jeanie's lawyer now drawing battle lines and exposing the deep family betrayal, how can the Lakers possibly find stability when the fight for control is so vicious and publicly exposed? What happens now with Joey and Jesse, and how does Jeanie rebuild trust with her own family after this bombshell?
Go crazy over this, and that's usually what happens, unfortunately. Somebody, wealthy family member passes away and everyone starts fighting over what's theirs, right? And it's essentially what's happening here with the Lakers.
Examining this key moment to go crazy over this. And that's usually what happens, unfortunately. Like somebody, wealthy family. This breakdown reveals crucial tactical insights.